Axon is an Arizona-based company. He started in Tucson, literally in someone's garage, with the idea of bringing the taser to market as a tool for the private sector in a less lethal form. And he genuinely wanted to end, or at least diminish, the only choice you have in self-defense was a firearm. And he thought that the average consumer, and it turned out to be a better law enforcement tool, was the taser. It took him years to get it to market, but it became a huge success. Now the company is called Axon. Axon is the body-worn cameras for law enforcement all around the world. Well, he's an Arizona-based company. He's been in Arizona since the 80s. He wants to keep his business here. So they had plans for a world headquarters. They went to the city of Scottsdale. They revised the zoning so that they could build a community. They could build their campus that includes their world headquarters, apartments for employees, and retail. It was approved unanimously through planning. It got the majority of the city council vote. As soon as they were ready to break ground, the project was stopped. Not going to go into the details, but that's where they are. A law was passed in the state legislature, was signed by the governor, that allows for projects like this to be built. And it's not just an Axon bill. It involves other businesses that would come to Arizona that goes through the proper channels to get things done, that you can't find these little unique ways to try to stop these projects. And I'll give you my opinion, because labor unions want to unionize in a right to work state. So they're going to try to strong arm businesses. If they don't get their way, they're going to do this. Our legislature and our governor stopped that from happening. That's my opinion on it. So the city of Scottsdale has been having meetings with people from Axon because it looks like this project is moving forward. So what they did last night at the city council meeting was vote to hire a lawyer to the tune of $100,000 to look into the possibility of not just suing on this behalf, suing the governor and the legislature in this law in court. They're still exploring those options. So I have a statement from the Axon president, Josh Eisner. I'm going to read it. We want our neighbors to be happy with the project before it commences. As such, last week, I asked to meet with several city council members, and I left believing we had productive discussions. Each meeting ended with my commitment that a deal could be reached in a matter of weeks. The only thing I respectfully asked was the city not raise the temperature during this time, as it would be a distraction to progress. Tonight, the council instead chose to raise the temperature yet again. When the Scottsdale City Council decided to lower the temperature, we will be standing by as willing, productive partners. What's fascinating about this is we have watched such immense business growth. And it's been very positive for the valley, literally 2 miles away, like maybe 2.5 miles away to the west. It crosses the boundary into the city of Phoenix. The Mayo Clinic has announced a $2 billion massive expansion to their campus for medical, reinventing medicine, reimagining healthcare. And it is such a great addition to this valley that of all of the locations in the world that Mayo Clinic could have done this, they chose the Valley campus. It is in a very crowded area of Phoenix. It is just south of Desert Ridge Marketplace. So it's Tatum, south of the 101 where that Mayo Boulevard is. Already congested. I go to Desert Ridge. I live near there. I go there all the time. It's always busy. It's always crowded. Massive apartment complexes going in right there. Now this massive building of this campus. Nobody's complaining. Nobody's getting signatures. You want to know why? Because unions can't organize this place. So they can't come in and stymie the growth of a business. No one's complaining. So in Scottsdale, I have friends, I have close friends that are against this project. But if you go in Scottsdale, there are projects going up everywhere. Why are there no petitions to stop the other apartment complexes from going in? It's because unions can't come in and force people to unionize these companies. That's what's happening. It's happening to the Vi Resort in Glendale. So I'm not an anti-union person, but I'm certainly not a pro-union person. But what I am anti is strong-arming. I'm anti extorting. And I know that's a legal term. I'm not using it in a legal sense, but I am saying that you can't go in and say, unionize. Well, we don't want to unionize. Well, then you got issues. And so then another organization connected to that organization goes out and hires people and gets signatures. We're sending it as a state, we're sending a message that says to industry, if you come to Arizona and you obey the rules, if you get through planning through a city, if you are going to put down roots here, then you can do that. You don't have to worry that in the 11th hour, a group is going to come in and stop your growth sometimes for years. And by the way, Axon, Rick was so committed to staying in Arizona, you know that Florida was going to give them tax incentives and land deals and all these different things. Florida was trying to entice them to Miami Beach. And he has been an Arizona guy since the 80s and said, I want it to be in Arizona. And I'm only going to leave when they force us out. And now this is happening again. And they've even said in this statement, we want everybody in the city to be happy with this project. Now that it's moving forward, let's sit down. We are still willing to negotiate with the city. Let's get a project everybody can be happy with. And yet the city continues. And I don't know why they could. Well, I do know why. But the city continues to push against one project. There are other apartment projects that are going on everywhere. This property is still zoned the same way, which means even if somehow by a miracle they waste the city's money and they end up pushing Axon out, something else will be built on that land. It's going to happen. Go and look at the massive growth in the cranes in the East Phoenix, West Scottsdale, north part of the valley. It's incredible. But this fight continues for whatever reason, and I don't understand why this one project is the one they want to fight against. There's stuff like this going on, building happening everywhere. This project is the one they want to stop. And it doesn't make sense to me. It seems like it's gotten personal, and I wish it wasn't. And I will say this. I think the one person that's going to be the one that can be reasonable in this, that can kind of be the bridge builder, is going to be the mayor. The mayor, Lisa Borowski, I know her. I think that she is a level-headed person, and I think that I am hoping that she will be the one that steps in and says, all right, let's sit down and talk, let's stop the posturing, and let's have a conversation about what's best for the city and best for this private company. And I'm hoping that that's coming.
Thanks for watching the Mike Broomhead Show. Catch up on Amazing Arizonans, a KTAR News podcast, and click the button in the middle to subscribe.